What's up, Internet? It's your boy Cliff the Shadowcaster here with a brand new episode of the Animated Gamers Podcast, where anime and game nerds collide. Thanks for joining us. This week, we lost the first 10 minutes of our episode, so the intro's a little different. I'm going to give you a rundown of what we're talking about before jumping into the topics. First up, we talk about the Sony and Netflix deal and what that means for the future of the service. We then go into spoilers and the hoops we have to jump through to enjoy the things that we love. And we wrap up the episode with a review of episode 4 of the Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, without further ado, enjoy.
I think my biggest concern, or thought would be, is how would Netflix charge for those movies if the Sony does decide to go directly to movie slash digital, kind of how Disney did with Mulan and probably gonna do with Widow. I think they're doing the same thing with Black Widow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Ron.
No, so I'm wondering how Netflix is going to go about that. Are they going to charge you on the side, or they're going to do that, or they're not going to charge you at all, and they're just going to stream it for you because Sony said it was cool. And one of the best parts about the deal for Sony is that they're not obligated to Netflix in any way. It's just like, hey, we're going to drop this movie to digital. You want it? And Netflix can go, nah, we good, and then it can go to Disney or wherever it's going to go. But scrolling through Sony's catalog, like we were doing, I don't see nothing crazy on here that's just like, oh my god, I gotta have Netflix because now they got this deal with Sony. Because it's still also 50-50 that Netflix even decides to pick up whatever said movie is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's a crazy deal, but I do think that it's going to shape the landscape as far as going forward, because now you're going to have other streaming companies like Roku and places like that.
But didn't HBO Max already do this though, with like the Justice League, Snyder Cut, and Kong versus Godzilla?
Right,
well, that's
right.
different because that's in-house.
Right, I was about to say, but it's their movie. It's not Netflix didn't. HBO made it, so Netflix is buying someone else's movies basically, and it's not something they made.
I would be cool if they charged, like, depending on what movie. If it's like a Marvel movie, Spider-Man, Venom, they charge like $30. I would be cool with that. For the sole fact that, like I said earlier, I bought Demon Slayer tickets, about 2 of them. I spent $26 on that, and Disney charges $30 to watch their new movies. I'm cool with that.
It's a slippery slope here. I see what you guys are saying, and the world is making things move at this pace. But I think this also opens up the opportunity for them to charge more, for one. They're also talking about splitting passwords up too.
Right.
And then
and sorry to cut you off, but look at that. Look at now we can see why they were talking about that like 2-3 years ago.
And then they can also option to, like, they already said they're going to increase the price anyway. So let's say
2 to 3 more times. They said in their lifespan, the next 10 to 15 years.
So do you think they
knowing that this was on the horizon too, they could easily say, all right, so we have these new movies now, we have all these exclusive Netflix things, and we have an exclusive deal with Sony. So instead of giving Sony, $8.99 a month if they made their own streaming service, you can get their catalog here, or at least 40% of it here on Netflix, and some other things you might get on what other services they have out there, whatever, and option them off. But I don't think that this is a good thing long term, because it's going to be so splintered. Where the fact is, there's so many movies that I look for that hasn't been translated into digital.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So the more popular movies, of course, like your Spider-Mans, your Jumanjis, and Men in Black, all those other films are there, and some Criterion films, whatever. But there's a large group of movies that are just gone, and if you don't have a specific service, or if you're not torrenting, you're kind of out of luck. So it's kind of hard to say my stance for sure, but it is going to be harder to find the things you want unless you are willing to fork out another $15 for a streaming service.
So, like Ron says, this is kind of a big deal, like the Sony deal, but I've been reading some news that Sony has like a counterpunch to Xbox Game Pass. Do you think this plays anything into that? Like,
absolutely. I don't see this not being a part of the PS5 whatever after E3. If you get this $20 subscription, you have PlayStation Plus, you have the Sony streaming service, you have PlayStation Now, and you get Spotify or whatever with Discord.
Right. Yeah, I fully agree, and yet again, as you guys know, I'll do the stock stuff, so this was huge news in that world too. But the deal was way better for Sony, because Sony is not at a loss at all, because Sony could still give it to Disney or distribute it first party. There doesn't. I went through the contract, diligently, and it doesn't say anything like in a scenario of, let's say Sony releases something but wants to do it digitally on their own platform, even though they don't have a streaming service. But let's say they wanted to drop it on the PlayStation. Let's just say they wanted to drop it on the PlayStation, which would technically be a streaming service. That's a loophole in there that I observed myself. So does Netflix also get it, or do they do a partnership deal? Was like, hey man, now when you buy your Sony's, it comes with X amount of months of Netflix because we have this deal. With
Could do that.
So Sony is not at a loss because, like I said, they're only going to. Netflix is only going to get the movies that Sony decides to put digitally, and then Netflix still has to pay for them individually. The whole deal is based off is that they get first dibs. So whatever they create, be that the Spider-Man's, what we always say is always contingent upon whatever Sony wants to do.
Well, no, it's not contingent on what Sony was doing because Disney has something to do with Spider-Man too.
Right.
Sony owns Spider-Man, but they don't own 100% of Spider-Man right now. So
right, but then I'm not saying it's contingent on like it's up to them, like they the boss, but they fuck up the world sometimes when they want to make their own shit. And so we got that. We got the Uncharted series that they're doing. There's a couple other things that I really care less about because I don't really like Sony's catalog. I don't.
You heard about they're trying to make Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4 and try to bring back Tobey Maguire. I read an article about that last week. And that's in the talks too.
I think I think some of that could be like people just saying stuff to get this type of response, and then they'll be like, hey, look, we got this X amount of likes and retweets.
Right.
So some of the stuff I think is happening behind the scenes, and also it might be like an intern that might be just rising this stuff up, which is good, which is what it is. But
so to go over a quick catalog,
it's so long ago.
I know, right? How old that dude now?
I'm sorry, but I'm like, a sequel to that? It's so long ago. Tobey Maguire's like 54 years old.
I fucked with Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, but not now, bro. You had your time, bro.
So a quick list of upcoming movies. So we got Morbius. I know you guys are looking forward to that. Uncharted. That'd be dope.
Less about that.
Where the Crawdads Sing. Not sure what that even is. Bullet Train, and basically Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Venom, Jumanji, Bad Boys. I mean, Sony's catalog is not crazy, but I don't know. To me, it's like the console race. Every once in a while, there is a game that comes out that just makes you want to buy a console, whatever. God of War was that game for like PS2. Like when God of War came out, if you didn't own a PS2 or PS3, then you was like, man, I need to get one of these to play this game because it was that groundbreaking, it was that dope. So this is kind of that situation where it's like now it's getting to these wars where it's like, which streaming service you want. Like Cliff said, Hulu's coming up too. Hulu was an afterthought to me, but sometimes when I do search for said movie and it says on Hulu, I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know you had that. Yeah, I didn't know you had that, buddy. Like,
it's time to start texting. Who has Hulu?
Right, exactly.
They're the only place to have Yu Yu Hakusho, which is crazy to me.
See, like that secretly they got that deal done, and then they brought in those fans. So I think that the digital landscape was going to head this way anyway. Movie landscape was going to head this way anyway, and I think COVID sped it up. We said that multiple times, but I do think that it's definitely looking spicy going forward because I'm just waiting for Microsoft to buy a studio now.
I'm gonna drop this gem because if this is, things are just going to get worse, and
I agree.
They also have the power to take things off their service if they want to. So one example that I could think of, I was trying to watch Buffy and Angel like straight through. There's something I've watched, on TBS and TNT, whatever, over the years in my youth, but I wanted to watch it straight through, and I'm not buying no DVDs or Blu-rays, or no, it was on Blu-ray, it was on DVD and VHS, not even Blu-rays, and they took it off Netflix, and there's no other place to watch it. So I'm gonna just start watching or start buying digital copies or Blu-rays moving forward. I think that's the way to go, especially for movies that I know I'm going to watch multiple times. I just pay for it once, have it in a format, and not have to worry about it moving somewhere else when I want to watch it again.
Yeah, I think like Sony's main purpose of making this deal, like Cliff said, they're going to package this in with some PlayStation Now thing to counteract Xbox Game Pass, because right now Xbox Game Pass is so above and beyond whatever Sony has for like streaming video games. It's just like they're just getting left in the dust. So this has to be some part of a plan to like boost PlayStation Now sales, or maybe they're revamping PlayStation Now and they're gonna throw Netflix in there. But I don't know. There's got to be like a counterpunch to Xbox Game Pass somehow.
Because both services allow you to rent movies. I mean, it's not on the forefront, but you can rent movies and buy music. I have what movie I have on Xbox? 40-year-old version. It's like a random. It's on Xbox.
I got all the Halloweens on Xbox too. Yeah, it's random, super random, but I have them all. And I think Microsoft actually has a deal with Spotify, so you can play the game and listen to Spotify too. I mean, so I just think that it's heating up. It's getting very, very interesting to see because soon a lot of things that we enjoy is probably going to split up to this service, to that service, and that's why that's why everybody pull their resources when it comes to these digital things, rightfully so. But if they start changing around passwords and things like that, I mean, we could probably get into some real funny business.
Yeah.
So moving on. So how you guys starting to feel about all these spoilers and why everybody got to feel like they need to be fucking first?
Bruh,
Go ahead, Dave.
the simple fact, I'm gonna let you go, Dave, but the simple fact I
No,
gotta
go
wake
ahead,
up early in the morning it pisses me off, bro. I'm watching these shows before work Fridays. It took one incident of someone at work doing it. One of my supervisors who's not into this stuff at all spoiled it.
Oh.
But the thing is, I watched the finale. It was the finale of WandaVision. And she was so hyped to just, everyone wanted to be first. And she's not into this stuff. It was her husband. I guess she got into it because of that.
Right.
And said it in the morning check-in. This is at 9:30 in the morning, bro, on Friday. And I was like, you know what? I can't risk it anymore. I can't. It's not even just Twitter. It's everywhere.
That's actually really, really crazy. So I'll let you go there. Let me go before you grind somebody up.
They about to go for the next 30 minutes.
You go for the neck, go straight for the gusto. But in that situation, it's really like, so did they ask you, hey, did you see it yet? Like this, did they even ask you that?
She was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe what I watched. It was so early this morning. My husband was so excited. I couldn't believe when Agnes did. I was like,
what the fuck? Yeah, that to me, that's like
I can see my coworkers, their eyes, just the light leaving their body.
Astro projected out their body and shit.
That's super selfish, and I know I ruined the Mandalorian for Dave here on the podcast live, but now so I did that at one time, so now I am in the habit of like asking you guys like several times first, hey, did you watch it? Hey, did you watch it before I say anything? Because it is crazy. Now think about that husband, like he got up right early in the morning. Like, and probably didn't even want to. Like, he probably got up super early because he said, if I don't watch it now, somebody's going to ruin for me sometime today. So let me do this now. So does it really become entertaining, or is it a chore?
I even said, think about what he did to do that. Why do you think that he did that?
Right.
Right? To not get spoiled. So then you in turn spoil somebody?
Right.
Okay. Okay, my big thing is like these gaming websites or whatever pop culture websites, they got to put themselves in other people's shoes, man. Like not everyone can get up first thing in the morning and watch it. So for them to post something like first thing in the morning, okay, if you want to post something and tell me what it's about, put a little caption or whatever and like make them click onto the fucking article. Don't post no fucking picture on there that pretty much gives away a whole fucking ending of a fucking episode.
Yeah, that is annoying.
They put the picture of Cap up there, bro.
Yeah, I saw Cliff yesterday, and I didn't know if it was gonna be a spoiler because I didn't watch it. I just happened to see the fucking picture. But I talked to Cliff about it yesterday, and then this morning, that they put spoiler alert. Sorry guys, but if you guys haven't seen it, Captain America, Falcon Winter Soldier.
Don't listen anymore. Don't listen.
So this episode,
anymore,
just so you're clear, we're spoiling episode 4. Just so you know.
Yeah. So giving you a heads up.
Yeah.
Giving you a heads up, like motherfuckers ain't do to me. But
you did listen to it. Let's make it clear, Dave. If you didn't listen to it, if you didn't watch the episode, please turn off the podcast right now because the rest of the episode is going to be probably talking about this. Do not listen. Continue.
But they showed the picture of New Cap standing over someone with a bloody shield. And I didn't watch it, bro. I'm on like Facebook, like scrolling because
out of context. You watched that out of context.
Yeah, so I watched it out of context. So I knew that was coming the whole time. It was just a matter of when it was coming. And that shit was on my mind the whole fucking time, bro. Watching the whole fucking series. So I know this is coming, but when is it gonna happen? But then as you start watching it, you realize it's gonna happen towards the end. But I don't talk to it about nobody because I want to watch it myself that day, right? I don't go on Facebook. I try not to go on Facebook, but throughout the course of your day working, like you go on lunch, you sit down, you get on Facebook without it slips your mind. You're like, man, fuck. You're not even thinking about it that you might get spoiled. Then you're scrolling through. Then you see a fucking picture that fucks it up. Not that I clicked on anything. Not that it took me to a whole nother fucking link. Just me scrolling, saw the fucking picture, fucked it up.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's just so fucking annoying. So you telling me I went all day without talking about it, without hearing anything about it, and for me just being on my phone and scrolling through a screen, I see a picture that ruins it. Come on, man. Like I said, make me click a link. Make me do it if I have to spoil it myself. Make me work for it. Make me put in effort to spoil it. But no, you just made me scroll down and then I saw it. And then it's not like, oh shit, let me keep scrolling. I already fucking saw it.
Yeah, I do think that is done for clicks, because then it's like, oh my god, now what is this, like kind of thing, and it's definitely raunchy as all hell. Like I wouldn't.
And then what I do at that point is I don't click on it. I just go read the comments, and everyone in the comments says the same shit. Like, bro, I didn't watch this yet, so why the fuck are you spoiling this? First, do it. At least do it the day after. You're gonna do it like hours after the fucking thing gets released. Like I said, put yourself in somebody else's shoes, bro. Like, we all can't get up first thing in the morning and watch it. Some of us have to be at work at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We can't watch it. So we're waiting to get home to watch it. Right. So we got to stay off our phones. We got to stay off the computers. We got to stay off social media. And then even when minding your business, like Cliff was doing, minding his own business, somebody drops it in the fucking group chat. Like, what does this need to be first? Like, what validation? What validation do you get? Yeah, what validation do you get, bro? Like, do you get attention for 5 minutes? Is that what you want?
I mean, it's weird times. I mean, in general, just social media and all that stuff. We're obsessed with being center of attention, or I don't know, being a cool kid. Like, we can kind of dismantle that and go a whole hour and a half, honestly. But it's sickening, because if you found enjoyment out of that, or joy in something, or happiness, why would you then in turn ruin it for someone else? You would want them to have the same experience you had. Correct. So like you said, like on Instagram, some posts, if it's like, I don't want to say gore, but if you know what I'm talking about on Instagram, you got to click it. It says like, this is or whatever's blurry picture. They should do that on Twitter or Instagram and stuff. But then again, it's not their responsibility as a company to regulate their people. So it's like, which one do you counter first, the fandom or the platform?
But I would just think it would just make your website look bad when you're ruining stuff for people who been waiting all week for this stuff, been working 8 hours and can't wait to get home just to watch this, and then just sitting on their lunch break or just having some downtime, they're just scrolling through something and then something get ruined.
They'll tell you to stay offline. That's what they'll tell you. Stay offline.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, they'll tell you to stay offline, and they'll tell you if you wanted to watch it so much, you would have watched it by now.
Yeah, people stupid. People weird. Let me bring that back, because people weird. People are interesting. Humans are interesting.
I think this need to be first, that Ricky Bobby mentality. If you ain't first, you're last kind of situation, and especially I guess when it comes down to being content creators. But in my opinion, I mean, it's two ways you could look at it, right? So you could look from their perspective, and they could say like, man, you should, like you said, if you wanted to watch it so bad, then you would have watched it last night, player. Like, don't get mad at me because you scrolling through my timeline. So, and you got that side of, you got the other side of, yo, why be a dick? Or at least, like you said, don't put the thumbnail. That's my whole thing. Don't, because I have had things ruined to me too, the thumbnail. Or that's like a video in general that you watching, and the thumbnail is the ending.
Oh
and
my
the whole
God,
time,
YouTube is the worst, dude.
It's
IGN,
the
they
worst.
do that shit. Oh my goodness.
It's so annoying because then now I know this thing is coming, and like Dave said, like now I'm expecting this thing to come, and I know it's coming, and then when it finally comes in, now the whole surprise or the whole anticipation of that whatever it said thing is completely ruined now. And that's super frustrating as a viewer, and it makes you just don't want to watch anything. And you guys know I don't even do social media, but I do watch YouTube. Like that's where I catch my NBA highlights and stuff like that. And that's like and this happened me with my NBA highlights. So I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the internet, right? But I'm watching the highlights. It's as if I'm watching the game. But then sometimes the thumbnail will say Mavericks my favorite team. So it'll say Mavericks blew out such and such by 15 points. And I'm like, well, thanks for the fucking surprise. Now
so I don't need to watch the highlights now. I don't need to read the article now. I just read the thumbnail.
Yep, exactly. I don't even want to watch the highlights. So now I'm skimming through the highlights. Now the highlights, let's say like 5 or 7 minutes. Now I'm like on minute like 340. I just load in the video and I just start skipping ahead. Let me just watch the last quarter of the highlights because I already know they won by 15. So it's actually really, it's kind of redundant to actually do that. Like to say here's the highlights of Mavericks blowing someone out. So why do I need to watch these highlights now? Like you kind of like, I know if I'm thinking like that. And they say whatever you're doing or thinking of, at least 10,000 people are doing it. So imagine how many views you're denying yourself just because you wanted to put that in the thumbnail like a dummy. I'm
But
sorry.
like
That interesting
that
person.
whole Captain America when John Walker is standing over a dude body with the blood on his shield, and they showed that picture. If you would have just edited the blood out, people would have just assumed it's just Captain America standing there. So now that you put the blood, that you left the blood on the shield, it tells me he fucked somebody up or he killed somebody. So
Right.
a simple thing could have been done just to edit the blood out. You know how I know is that? Because I saw that shit on Instagram this morning, where it was the same picture, but they edited the blood out. As now I sat there and thought, oh, if I would have saw this in context, I would have just saw that was a fucking picture of Cap in the middle of the fucking street.
Yeah, he busted somebody up, probably.
Yeah, but now I saw the blood, so I'm like, okay, so he killed somebody. Okay, so cool. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any remedy to fix this culture in a lot of ways. And
It's just gotten progressively worse over time because
I
spoiler
was gonna
culture
say,
has been a thing. Like the whole thing with Darth Vader, the whole thing with any movie you could think of in the past 50 years. We know the endings even if you haven't watched it because we're
Correct.
obsessed with those things. If it's not YouTube top tens, if it's not the references we have, now it's Instagram and Twitter. Like I said, I'm waking up Fridays earlier than usual to watch Invincible and Falcon Winter Soldier. Not only because I'm on Instagram and Twitter for the podcast and stuff, but just in passing, I don't want to miss these things because some people who spoil these things aren't really into these forms of media. It's just to get likes and clicks and shit like that.
I can go a million years about people that do that stuff.
What they call it, clout chasing? Do anything for clout?
Yeah, I can go on and on about people like that.
Does it bother you when certain websites tell you if there's an end credit at certain movies? Like this movie has an end credit. Like before we watched Godzilla versus Kong, I'm scrolling through again and they said, "Oh, if Godzilla versus Kong doesn't have an end credit scene." Does that bother you or no?
Nah, because I would look at it as time consuming. But that's probably a hit or miss kind of thing. Like it depends on how you look at it. Like me personally, I wouldn't care if somebody told me because then now I had what to look forward to. So I wouldn't care too much about that. If they told me what it was in the end credits,
yeah,
that's different. Because there are times because of the whole Marvel effect, most movies now have end credits. So I forgot what it was when we were watching movies. When it was okay to do that, I'd have it up in my phone just ready. The such and such have an end credit scene. If I want to stick around or not, because people start moving, I'm not sitting here for 20 minutes if I don't have to.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So someone told me, let's say even I was going in the movie and someone was coming out of it, someone told me, "Hey, man, there's no end credits." I'm like, "All right, cool, thanks." Like I would just. I'd be
we
pissed
can all agree though.
It was.
We can all agree that the websites that do this, they're doing it on purpose, right?
100%. I mean,
it's
definitely for clout. I mean, there's no way. I mean, but like
even if it's bad, even if it's negative, they're still getting clicks and comments.
Hey,
the numbers don't. The algorithm don't. Yeah, right. The numbers in math algorithm, they don't. It doesn't matter what your response is as long as those numbers are going up. You're getting revenue for that or potential revenue.
Right, but I would play devil's advocate, like I said, and think about how many fans did you lose because you did that? Like Dave said, like you seen it on the thumbnail. Come on, man, like the thumbnail. Thumbnail.
So you put no effort into that. Like you didn't click nothing. You didn't go to another link. You didn't go to another website. You just saw a thumbnail.
Right. Now, unless people actively stop, supporting these companies and saying stuff about that. You lose one person, you gain 5 the next week. So it's a numbers game. It's a reason why they keep doing it. They're getting money or some type of benefit from this. And then just overall as people, I think it's just I don't like the spoiler mentality. Like just keep it to yourself. If you enjoyed it, let me enjoy it too.
Right.
Yeah, don't take that enjoyment away from someone else, because you know how that watching that episode made you feel.
It's like hearing a joke for the second or third time.
Yeah, that episode made you feel a certain way that you liked it so much. So let someone else experience that. So don't take that shit away from them, bro. Like we're all deprived of like new content, so we want to see what happens for ourselves.
That's make it worse too, man.
Yeah, we don't want someone else to spoil it for us.
Yeah, I think we're in a tight little, and we can go on and on about this, especially psychologically, about this. But I think we're in a tight spot, as far as as humans in general. But as far as content, with the COVID and stuff, I mean, I personally think that no content has been the reason why like violence has been through the roof the last year and a half. But no one's sedated. Put it like that. No one have enough things to watch to be sedated. So without even going too deep into that, so the fact that things are getting spoiled for people, when people are getting really angry about it, as they should, in my opinion. So that could become a whole cancel culture in its and upon itself, If it happens enough or enough where it happens ignorantly, where people just like purposely are just like, hey, yeah, by the way, such and such dies in like the first 20 minutes of the movie. Don't even watch it. Like, wait, what? Like, so I feel like it's only gonna get more. It's only gonna get worse.
People will say like shit like that, what you just said, Rob. I people might die in the first 20 minutes of the movie because they think the movie is garbage. But just because you think the movie is garbage doesn't mean someone else is. So let them watch and find out for themselves. Don't.
But then if you peep though, sometimes when people do that, it's really someone might have did that to them first too. Like someone told me, so I'm telling you. So.
Mm-hmm. I've actually had that happen before. So
yeah. Like, well, someone told me, so I'm telling you, and that's fucked up.
It's become so second nature when someone recommends a movie to you, they end up telling you the whole synopsis. Whereas in like, I would much rather you tell me very little. If I know who's in it or if like the general direction, I'm cool with that. You don't have to sell me but so much. But that's also with trailers too, man. With trailers telling you the whole movie because people. There's a whole study about that too in study culture or spoiler culture where the general audience don't want to waste their money, and I get that. You know, not everybody has, like you said, $30 or $40 to quote unquote waste on. You know, they can stay at home and watch something else, so they end up telling you so much in the trailer that when people explain movies to you, they end up telling you what's in the trailer and then some, which ends up spoiling everything. So.
Right, and it's funny because me and the missus was talking about this like probably like last week. So you ever looking for something to watch and then you watch the trailer and that's what the trailer's supposed to do, get you excited or go, nah, it's not for me. But you watch the trailer and then you go immediately feel like you know how this is about to end. So
yep, that's it.
Yeah, I feel like I watched.
Bugsy and I do that all the time. Like, well, that's the movie right there. That's it.
Yeah, and I agree with you that this like it's supposed to be enough there to grab my attention, but not enough to ruin the story for me. And that recently just happened with something we watched last night. We watched the trailer and decided, oh, let's watch this. And then not even kidding, the whole movie was the trailer. And I was like, I could have not watched this. I could have.
Real quick before we move on, you know who's bad at that? Like just telling descriptions of movies or series? Netflix. You read Netflix descriptions of some of their episodes, bro. They are horrible at just like they just spoil it for you, bro, in the fucking description of the next episode or whatever.
Yeah, I agree with that. Netflix is really bad, but especially sometimes where they don't, like some movies be brand new movie and it won't have a trailer, and the description is super vague. You're like, should I watch this? Like, I don't know if I kind of want to watch this. I don't want to waste 40 minutes into the movie and go, nah, this ain't for me. Like, damn,
commit to it at that point.
And I think that's where spoilers come from and will be so prevalent because, like, exactly what you said, I don't want to waste X amount of time because there's so many options too. So it's tough. It's tough to really figure out how to move forward unless you.
I tell people all the time, the fact that we have so many options for no matter what we do nowadays is the problem. Mm-hmm. That is the problem. Humans want to be told what to do and what's cool and what's not cool. And the second you give them freedom of thought to decide what they want to watch and what's cool and give them all those choices, that's when people get upset. Period. Well, let's move on to the fucking Winter Soldier review. Spoilers.
Let's about spoiler. Let's spoil the shit out of this one.
Spoilers. So, what did you guys think about this? Even though you were spoiled.
I know, right? Like I said, it was spoiled for me, so I was expecting whatever happened in that fucking picture to happen. But I thought this was the best episode up to date. You're starting to see more John Walker kind of explode under the pressure of being Captain America and being left behind.
The pressure.
Being oppressed. He's being oppressed.
Yeah, being oppressed. Even when you saw him getting his ass kicked by the Wakandans, and like he even said it's like basically I got my ass kicked. They didn't even have fucking.
They had no powers.
They didn't even have no fucking powers, and they had beat my ass.
That scene was so interesting to me for a lot of reasons, but I'll let you continue.
No, go ahead, bro. You good?
No, I was going to. I mean, and to draw from this comparison and disparity that they were black and women, and he was a white male. I feel like that was super interesting to me. Like, as far as like, was that an intention that his psyche got ruined? Like, that's what broke him. Like, that was the thing that broke you. Nothing else broke you, but that was the thing. Like, we're spoiling here, obviously, but his partner, presumably is dead. I don't think he's dead, but presumably is dead. What's his name?
Battlestar. They gonna give him some. I think they'll give him some shit.
Yeah.
I think somehow, some way, he's not dead. That's my theory. He could be dead. That could be the thing that broke
he got fucked up.
Yeah,
he got fucked.
That shit was like, and then they slow motion turned around. Did you know the director of John Wick directed this episode?
No,
Oh, really?
that
Nice.
actually makes it a lot better for me too, because I was actually applauding, back, pat somebody on the back for this episode. I thought it was greatly
This
directed.
episode, yeah, it's the best episode yet, man. It
Yeah.
was really good,
Yeah,
dude.
the action
What
with the
I
Dora
really good.
Milaje, you could definitely see it there.
That's their name. Yeah, and I really did enjoy that scene. And like I said, I was really looking at that from a psychological standpoint. Like that's what broke that man. And I was thinking like did they do that on purpose, that they were black and female, and how he was looking down on them to begin the fight, and then they wound up kicking his ass, and that was a thing that like he was like, holy shit, like I can't do anything.
He's like, I can't do nothing right. I got this shield and still get my
And
ass beat.
mediocre, man. Mediocre falling upwards. This goes along with, listen, if folks who listen to our episodes consistently, then you'll know some of these themes are like there. As a new Captain America, this is 2021 America right here. This is what it is. And of course he responds this way towards, black women, especially powerful. I mean, I think all women are powerful, but this is that scene. I had to rewind it. I was cracking up laughing, bro, like cackling.
I watched it. I watched it also like three times. Thank God the missus is in the kitchen because she hates when I do that. But the fight scene. First off, the fight scene was fly, so I had to watch it again for that. But then I had to watch it again because I wanted to see the moment he broke. And then I watched it a third time when they looked at him like, man, you ain't nothing. Basically, they should have spit on him. That's basically what the scene was.
When she tried to take his shield, and she was like, "Drop it."
This toy or whatever. She kicked it up and grabbed it just like Steve does. I was like, okay, she better than you.
Because and I could be putting thoughts in the director's head or whatever, but it's kind of like he made her look at him like you ain't a real Captain America, like just saying you don't deserve this shield kind of situation. And that's how I interpreted that whole scene, and that scene was just super powerful for me.
That's why I had a tantrum. They made him tuck it in. He felt the way he felt. And he went in and took the super soldier. And it took me, I'm really disappointed in myself. It took me that long to realize what they were showing me. Because when he ran and bust through the door was the first thing, like, look, he's different now. But I'm like, why did the camera stuck on him for so long?
I knew something.
That was the first thing. I was like, this is a little interesting. And then it took me until he threw the shield and like it was in the wall. I'm like, hold on, something's different.
It off. Yep, that's what.
And he did the shoulder roll. I'm like, something's different. Oh, that looks like, because I'm so used to Chris Evans doing that. That's just how he does things. I'm like, this dude. Right. This is the tantrum. This is the roid rage. The whole second half of this episode.
Yeah, you definitely knew something was up when he twisted that pipe around. And the guy, the bad guy, goes, "Oh shit."
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna spin this. They're gonna spin this as they always do. Oh, it was a side effects of this medication I'm taking. That's what's gonna happen.
Nah, they know something. They knew something. They know something's up 100% for sure. My question is how going forward. Well, obviously it'll play out in the story plot too, but how's it going to get played out? But or what's going to become of this? Like, does it become the villain or whatnot? But I do want to see more of
Zemo though. His storyline in this series is starting to pick up.
Is that the German guy?
Yeah.
Yo, Zemo is. I guess that's why he's a villain. Baron Zemo is, the whole Loki. They come from the same stock.
Mm-hmm.
He'll smile in your face, and as soon as you turn your back, he's gonna stab you.
You don't know what you're getting from him. Is he really trying to help? And
that's what makes a good villain. Villains, especially people who know their own. Like, he's not a superhero. He doesn't have any powers. He don't teleport, no magic, none of that shit. So he got to use his gift of gab, his finesse to get through. Because he know these two dudes, they can do the things I need them to do. Let me manipulate them because they're good. They're naive.
Yep. And what's crazy about it is like that time when she had I forgot her name, the villain, and the super soldier serum was all on the ground. Carly. I honestly thought he was gonna. Yeah, Carly. I honestly thought he was gonna take one of those super soldier serums. I thought the whole time, like, I know he hates this thing so much, but in order to fight back, like what you're saying, you need one of these, and this is all in front of you right now. You have so many vials of this stuff just sitting on the ground. You can take all this stuff.
He mentions that though. He talks about the whole, like, once you take that, the whole supremacist idea comes in too as well. So that really shows his character, even though he's seen as a villain or antagonist through our eyes. He has a strict moral compass that I think is admirable. But most villains do have a compass like that. It's just like the way they do it is bad.
And when he started like stepping on him, destroying, I was like, "Oh shit! Like, yo, he's serious." That answered one of the questions for me. Because one of the questions I had is like, does he really want one of these? Is that like one of his alternative motives? But then he just started stepping on all them motherfuckers. I was like, okay, yeah, he ain't about he really hate this shit.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you guys. That scene actually made me fall in love with him as far as a character, and I'm definitely interested in more of his side story. I don't know if he could hold up his own show, but I'm definitely more interested in his story, be that via shorts or just back little flashback or something like that.
He's gonna be around. I can see him with the team up. He's done things, and I don't want to say but too much, but there's a clear image in my head. I see him with a sword and his fur, and with his sock helmet on. Barry Zemo's a problem, bro.
That coat,
yeah.
Barry Zemo a problem.
I really did enjoy that part, that scene, like they were saying, like once he like crushed them, I said, oh, my man said, first off, he said, I don't need this shit. That's his first off. Secondly, he was
neither do you.
Yeah, he was. You know what they say? I ain't locked up in with y'all. Y'all locked up in with me. I respect that did it because it's kind of like he chilling with you, like he cool with you until our what's the word? Our interests don't link up anymore.
Right. And it means to an end.
Yeah, exactly. It means to an end, and I can respect that. So he's like, hey, as long as like our interests are the same, like I'm cool. I can be friendly with y'all. I'm not gonna backstab you or anything like that until our interests don't link up anymore. And now it's like, hey man, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Two things. My bad. Go ahead.
And I was gonna say, and I really enjoy that about his character.
My boy Trigger happy though. I'll tell you that. He ain't afraid to pull that damn trigger.
He's not scared. He kept shooting at her. I'm like, yo.
He's not scared to do what needs to be done, man. That's what it is. When he say he gonna do something,
really hate that shit, bro. He really
that's a lot of times what me and Ron be saying. Sometimes we get powers. It's things got to get done. Sometimes you got to do them. You got to do it, get done.
Yeah, you got to do what needs to be done. And I can respect that in real life, and I can respect that in the show. So
you want to be mad now or later? Which one?
Exactly.
If you're mad now, it's a little bit, but if you're just later, it's gonna be a lot worse. So
we say
I can fix this now.
Batman wouldn't have a lot of problems if you just start killing motherfuckers.
You said that meme I added about Batman. He's keeping himself rich. When Batman making money off them people in the prison.
Yeah, that he probably. I think he actually owns Arkham.
Yeah. So why would you listen?
Exactly. Why would you? Yeah. Exactly. Come on now. You know what that disparity fits to. Whatever though. But yeah. I mean, I really did enjoy the episode. We could talk about the last part of it where Dave got spoiled.
There are definitely two things in the episode, or in the series in general. One has been brought up again, and the other one, we have, 3 episodes left?
Yep. Yeah.
That they need to get answered in. For one, the power broker. Now, I'm thinking it's Sharon, only because she disappeared for so long. She is extremely intelligent, and when she walked through the crowd of people with the guns and stuff, she just walked through. Like, you would think that they knew who she was. She's like the boss there. She didn't have to bring up any ID or nothing like that. It's a really small and subtle scene, right. But she has power and clout. I mean, she had that big ass house when she brought them in with all the art stuff. So she's connected. So I'm thinking it's her. And then secondly, with the Isaiah Bradley thing, they bring that back again because it was a small little tidbit, but I think they should bring it up again in the show because if not, we'd have to wait literally a year, if not more, for them to reference it again. Because they're not going to do it in Loki. It's not going to be maybe in Black Widow. Maybe as a flashback, she passed him at one point. But I don't know. This two threads I know I want to keep an eye on before the series is over.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on that too. I mean, I'm gonna definitely keep my eye on what's going on with Cap. I mean, we see as you guys spoiler alert, but the ending scene basically was him ending off. His partner was presumably dead. He runs out to get the perpetrator who killed his one of the guys who was with the chick who killed his partner, and he murdered him in cold blood out in the middle of the street. Per my understanding, Cap captured guys. I don't know who this dude is.
And that's the one who said he loved Captain America as a kid. That's the same guy who said I idolized Captain America.
Represented it.
Yeah, get beheaded.
Yeah, y'all think when he threw that shield at Zemo, that shit bounced off his head?
He was straight down.
Cold.
So he kills this guy cold blood at a city square. It looks like with a lot of ongoers looking, and it's recorded, so it's definitely out there now. So
people walked up to get something on Snapchat. They like, oh, this is going on.
And he just stood there.
He's going to the Snuff website. You know why?
He kept doing it with all these fucking people around, cameras and whatnot. Because he know he gonna get away with it.
I mean, he's Captain America.
Right. So I definitely thought. So what was the episode called? How They Look at You, or What the World Sees?
Yeah,
Oh man.
it's something like that.
Yeah. So
I
I
do like
thought
the name of the episodes are really
right.
nice.
So the title of the episode actually really played well into that last scene. And I really did enjoy. I was wondering why was it called that the whole time, because I'm always paying attention to the names of the
Title.
episodes. Yeah, to the titles of the episodes,
Yeah,
because
WandaVision did it right.
WandaVision did them great. So I was watching, and then that was actually pretty nice. So I'm actually trying to remember what it was called, and I can't think of it, but it was definitely like how the world sees you.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was interesting, the last scene, the whole world was, and now he basically got exposed. He basically got exposed for what he really is, or what we thought he was to be. And I was definitely actually waiting for his breaking point, because I was noticing that he wasn't getting respect that he thought he should have got. And it was, this guy, I'll say it, this black guy, Falcon, basically like, man, I don't need you, bro. Like, like you don't run. What do you say? You
The
don't.
only thing you're
You
running
don't,
here is your mouth.
the only thing you running over here is your mouth.
See what a no show. The only thing you're running is your mouth.
And I was like, yeah.
Put this
But,
show
like,
down.
what's crazy about this now is like, do they bring back the whole Captain America versus Zemo thing? Because now Cap has a serum now. Back then, when he was Cap, when John Walker was Cap, he didn't have the serum, and Zemo had no reason to hate him. But now that he has the super soldier serum in him, Zemo's gonna want to do something with Bull.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of think this Cap dies anyway. That's just how I think it's going to end for
They
this
got
Bull.
Kurt Russell's son in here. They're not going to kill him.
I hope they do. He getting on my nerves.
And
already.
plus, no spoilers, but I won't say anything else.
Don't do it. Don't chill. Don't do it. Don't be like them. But I hope they should do. I'm definitely interested to see on how this gets spun.
They're gonna find a way. I mean, they're gonna say that the dude had
Yeah.
like a neck issue or something. He's gonna die anyway. He had a bad heart. They're gonna say like,
Yeah. Wow. He
It
went
was
there.
side
With
effects of super soldier serum. It blew him up.
he was gonna die anyway. It's just he helped him.
Yeah, he was trying to save him, but yeah, I definitely can't.
Not what it looks like.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how they spin that. They're gonna say he was like a nuclear terrorist or something crazy, but
He
Yeah,
had
so how
neck
do you
pains
like the-
anyway.
how do you like the villains calls? I actually, so I was trying to put myself in that situation where the blip, people were missing for 5 years and the world was without borders and basically was a better place, like Thanos said it would be. And now it's like going back to normal, and they're basically fighting against that. People, being displaced in the world. They're in countries that they didn't naturally, I guess, belong to, and now they're trying to find, shelter, basically, a home, and that's kind of what she's fighting for. So she's like what do you call those, the anti-heroes? So she's a rebel. She rebel with a cause, and they're trying to.
Vigilante.
Yeah, she's a vigilante. There you go. And basically, Cap is trying to bring her down, which I represent him with the U.S. government, trying to bring down some people that's really not trying to be down in the first place. They're trying to bring themselves up. And
Sam had it. Sam was talking to her. He had experience and all that stuff, and he had to overstep his boundaries. Bucky tried to stop him. Bull's just not patient. He doesn't have the compassion or any of the stuff that Steve Rogers, had.
He's the exact opposite of everything about Steve Rogers.
You can't answer your question. What did he say? You can't punch your way. A couple movies ago, you can't punch your way out of every situation. You just
right. So I did think that scene was interesting too, because I was thinking, and I wasn't thinking in that aspect, but I was thinking like, damn, like Cap rubbed off on these guys, because even Bucky was like, before, like, let me just knock some heads, and even Falcon was kind of like that, that we get to see too much of him in the movies, but he was kind of the same way, like, man, I'm just ready to get down, like War Machine too, like War Machine he just want to get down. So I definitely thought that was a nice little touch in there, but he. Like, do you think he did it on purpose? Like, he felt like, I don't want to negotiate with terrorists kind of situation.
He got to show his power, man.
Exactly.
Men are fragile, man. The egos. You can't sit there and let this other guy tell you and he be right. You're Captain America. You're the man in charge.
Right.
You got the weapon, so you have to
That's
finish it.
I feel like that's how it took. I felt like he wanted to do it his way or no way, just to say like I did it. Not we did it. Not it got done.
It's like the same thing goes back to him being mad they broke out Zemo. Are you mad that they broke out Zemo, or are you mad you didn't think about it first?
Right. I mean, we live in a lot of, I guess, say woke times. So stuff that we've been us three, I would say, have been observing for a long time, especially when it comes to cinema. It's playing out a lot more on TV nowadays.
Yes, but other people who don't see it all the time are now noticing it. A lot of stuff,
Right. Right. So I definitely think. So for those who listen, and if you didn't catch any of those little subtle things, like Cap losing to I forget the names, but the Wakandians, I'll call them that, and seeing that scene was powerful. If you really was paying attention to all those things, that scene was super powerful. Watching his psyche just break down because of that. Those things now that are in TV and cinema now is actually really interesting to play out, and then to have, I would say, that's not minority directors actually be able to capture that stuff. It's very impressive to me too.
It's fun to see the fans, the quote unquote fans, respond to these things, these images, and seeing people, powerful that they're not used to. But it is what it is. I love it. The Renaissance. Right, yeah. And Dora Milaje gonna get your ass if you don't get it right. So you better put some respect on their name.
Right. It'll be interesting to see how the next episode goes, because if Cap gets off with a slap on the wrist, and it's always interesting to think of what if Bucky or because Bucky, even though he's a white male, but he's not considered top of the food chain because his background or whatever. But it'd be interesting to know how would it been taken if Falcon or Bucky had did that.
And Falcon was in the street talking to Bucky, almost got fucked up. But let's leave that for the next. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Right. So overall, it seemed like we enjoyed the episode. At part of usual, they've been really good. I'm definitely excited for the next roundabout, which is Loki, right? What that's what it's called?
Yeah.
June something. I think middle of June.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that. I'm hyped for that. And what those two are my biggest ones. I'm hyped for the whole year in the first place.
Anything Black Widow, so I can see this Taskmaster thing, because those scenes gave me goosebumps, man. I don't know, it looks super CGI janky, but I need that.
That's my kind of that's my kind of movies. Give me them dad movies. Give me them dad movies. Blow shit up and scream, let's get out of here. Hold down. No. Get down. Yeah. That's my movies, man. That's my movies. Anything else last minute? You guys want to add to that?
No, we're good.
Looking forward to the next week. That's it. I got to see what happens next, and
yeah, I'm definitely holding on to this one. Edge of the seat on this one for sure.
Oh, when he lost his arm, he was sick about that.
He was sick.
He's like, huh, what?
When
he said, did you know they could do that?
No. Yet again, taking down the white man was kind of funny, but that was funny. But Bucky don't care. He's like, whatever, bro. But till next time, guys. Oh, wait. Never mind. Join the socials. Check us out on the Discord. Movies every Wednesday. This week we're gonna catch, Saturday we're gonna catch the original,
the OG Mortal Kombat.
This should be good. This is gonna be actually bad but funny at the same time. The OG Mortal Kombat. What's that? Saturday at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday at 4. Definitely, I'm excited to sit around and relive our horrendous acting childhood.
I don't know, but I'm gonna love it. I don't know about you. This is gonna be amazing.
I'm gonna love this.
I'm gonna love it for the memes. Back then, I loved it, obviously, but now, because I watched this a couple years ago, and it was bad. It was bad.
I'm excited.
But I'm excited too. I'm excited to laugh the whole time. Recently we just watched Godzilla and King Kong. Godzilla dubs as usual. Got King Kong. Got his shit slapped in, but it is what it is. Surprised Dave ain't got nothing to say about that.
He Kong. He ain't got King. He's Kong.
Yeah, he just Kong. They did me dirty. But make sure you join the Discord. Stop in, catch some streams every Monday, Friday, Wednesday, and Sundays. Till next time, guys. Take care.